let's do a little bit review on all the class specifically. To like rate what can the classes maybe become. So I would rate Druid very high. I feel Druid is like the best deck out of this review. Druid is already very strong. It's probably the most played class in this expansion. And it's getting the Flu, but I think is an insane card. It getting the Glue, but I think is an insane card. It getting the Biologically Project, what I can see is a very good card. And some potentially cards with like the Juicy, Psychomelon, Florist, maybe the Mulcher. It got a lot of extra cards. It also has like a lot of neutral things where it can work. So, guys, Druidstone ain't getting anywhere. We definitely gonna see more of the Druid. Definitely more combo-based Druid decks and mana cheating Druid decks than like tempo-based Druid decks. But we will definitely see Druid in this meta. Druid will be tier 1. What do we think of Hunter, guys? I have a little bit of a hard time to rate Hunter. So there's a little bit of mech synergy here and there, but the mech synergy is kind of strange. Hunter gets like a bit of things for mechs, it gets a bit of things for death rattles. And one big spellstone. I think the Death Rattle Hunter still has like a lot of potential, as we have seen it definitely coming up at the end of this expansion, and there might be thing. I think the problem for Spell Hunter is like the more cards that are getting revealed, the worse Spell Hunter becomes. So Spell Hunter was now at his best. This card might be good for like a Spell Hunter, but I don't think it's gonna make Spell Hunter much better. I think this can be a good. This is a good card for Death Rattle Hunter. The Boommaster Flak is a pretty good card. This is a pretty decent mech card. So there's maybe some extra mechs you want to play in these cards to make work. I'm kind of on the line of rating Hunter tier 3. So being at the mid tier but on the bottom of the mid tier. So Mage is in a strange spot where there is a lot of cards getting revealed for more a spell Mage deck. A more tempo spell based deck. Of course there's also the Control Mage archetype. So what do we have? We have a Cold Light Oracle card. We have that's rubbish, that's rubbish. I don't really see this being very good yet, but maybe we can make it some work. This can be a decent card in combination with like the Cosmic. So the spell damage part is definitely where the Mage has to shine. It has to be like a tempo Mage deck, what is like a thing. And that can definitely still be a thing. A more tempo Mage deck. They have the core set, what already makes it very good. Unexpected results with this, with the Cosmic and maybe like a Shooting Star card. It can be a thing. But I don't feel Mage got that much out of the expansion. It definitely doesn't hit the anyway of the, like, the mech part of this. I don't feel this Luna is like very insane. I think it's tier 3. If I will rate out of 4 tiers, Mage will probably be tier 3, and I'm kind of positive on that, I feel. Elemental Mage can still be a thing, what I still have more promising in. There will be some Mage maybe getting in there. Paladin! Ooh, I have a hard time rating Paladin, guys. I think Paladin has quite some potential with the mechs. I think this card is so strong, I think it's one of the best cards revealed. The Spellstone of the Paladin is very potential. It's insanely strong if you can resurrect the right minions and they keep the magnetic mechanic on it. I think this egg has quite some potential. So I can see like a lot of cards being like alright. Paladin is already a little around with like Aggro Pally, and I can see some cards of this expansion working quite well in Paladin. So I think Paladin will go a more either mech direction or aggro direction. I think Control Paladin just struggles too much at the moment. But maybe if there will be a less Death Rattle-y expansion, then maybe Control Paladin can make the comeback. I would rate it, I think Paladin is tier 2. I think it's actually pretty solid. Priest! So, what we are currently having is the Dragon Priest. Is one of the decks that is getting played. We also have some Quest Priest around. And there's quite some extra cards for Quest Priest. With the Dreadringer, with the Reckless Experimenter. The Reckless Experimenter is a very strong card. The Turfy is like a good card for combo Priest. I think Priest is always... we should never underestimate Priest, and it's like alright in this current meta. It has been around in this meta, also quite strong. Yeah, you can see my cam is too big. Do I have to make myself a little smarter? Smarter, guys. So can do it like this. So it has like potential there. I feel the quest or like the spellstone is kind of hard to make work. So I'm kind of a little bit worried about Priest. I don't feel it got that much. I think Mech Priest is a hard thing to make work. I think Priest will be tier 3. So Rogue. Rogue is always a very hard to rate. The Rogue got quite a lot of combo cards. What makes it kind of cool. I'm very hyped for the Spellstone. I think the Rogue got a very interesting Spellstone that I'm actually very hyped for. It got some very interesting shuffle cards that are kind of maybe cool. I don't know if it can really work off. I feel Rogue is either miss or hit. So it's like either gonna become like one of the best tiers, or it's gonna be like one of the worst, or like the worst class. But I think I can see it. I think Rogue will after Druid be probably the best class. So I will rate it like... Well, maybe I should just... Maybe I should rate Druid tier 0. And then I will rate Rogue tier 1. Because I think Rogue is having the potential. I think Rogue is going to be very good. I see potential for aggro Rogue, or like for odd Rogue still. I see potential for maybe some heavy Spellstone, or like with the spell Rogue, and some heavy draw Rogue, and also just for like the Miracle Rogue and so on. I think Rogue is after Druid gonna be the class. So I will rate it tier. Let's make a bold prediction, guys. I will put Druid at tier 0, and then I'm gonna rate Rogue at tier 1. So Shaman, of course, having also the potential with the Shutterbox Shaman already, and that deck will definitely not go anywhere. We got a little bit. I'm very hyped from this Thunderhead. It's one of the cards I'm very excited for, to make like a tempo-based Shaman work. And this is a card that if you play other cards, it summons 2 1/1 sparks, and that can also synergize very well with Flametongue Totem. I am very hyped for Elemental Shaman, or Elementals in that. I think Elemental Shaman was already very strong and can still be very strong. A lot of extra Battle Cry cards being revealed for the Shaman, but mainly for like a more tempo Shaman, not really for the Shutterbox Shaman. I think Shaman is like tier 2, maybe tier 1. Shaman is pretty good looking in this meta. I kind of want to try an Eureka Shaman too, where you go hard with like a Malygos. But besides that, also this Elemental is very strong. One of the best legendaries revealed out of the expansion 2 for the Shaman. So Shaman is very good looking for me. I will actually rate it tier 1 with Rogue if I will rate Druid tier 0. Warlock. So what is very cool for Warlock is all the extra stuff it got for a more Zooey archetype. Most of the cards that we got here for Warlock are very towards the Zoo. I think Double Imp is a very good card. Soul Infusion kinda is maybe good. Buster is a very good card. Also the Void Analyst definitely has like potential. And then the Solarium. Probably an insane spellstone reveal. 1 mana, draw 3 cards, man. Such a good card. So I think Zoo got a lot of cards, and Zoo is already decent. I'm not sure if it will be in Demon Zoo, or if it will be in Heal Zoo, or if it will be in Mech Zoo, or whatever Zoo it will be. But Zoo will be there. Zoo got a lot of additional cards. There are also some very decent 1-drops that are just having very solid stat lines that we gonna see Zoo being played. I also think Even Luck will be around. This might be a card you want to play in your Even Luck, the Spirit Bomb. So I definitely think Warlock will be very strong. It will be also tier 1. Tier 1, tier 2. Warlock is one of the strongest classes. Yeah, and then Warrior. I'm not sure how Warrior is gonna be like. Obviously, we got Dr. Boom, but it's a very strong card. We got a lot of extra mech cards that are definitely very strong. I'm very having a hard time rating how good this control mech warrior archetype will be. I mean, warrior can be very good in the right metas, where the meta is a little bit more aggro based, and then this can work. Maybe with Dr. Boom you have potential to outvalue, but warrior is always one of the better classes to control, so I think it will be a tier 2 or tier 3. I really want to try this control warrior mech archetype, but it's so hard to rate. I think it's gonna be quite good. I hope Blizzard tested it and it's gonna be good. Because otherwise, I mean, come on. We're gonna make that Dr. Boom good, right? So, you have quite some good cards to make it work, but they are a little bit on the expensive side. So you can either go full expensive and maybe make it work with the Boom Ship. The Boom Ship is a very interesting card that works with a lot of big minions. And you give them rush. You have Dr. Boom that gives mech rush, so there is potential. I have a hard time. It might be tier 3. So yeah, guys, that's a little bit on the class review and the full card review. Tomorrow, it's Boomsday hype, guys. Are you ready for Boomsday? I can't wait anymore for Boomsday. So yeah, wanted to put in a card review. I hope you liked my review. It's a little long review because we are looking at all the cards, but I hope you are I hope you enjoyed this full review. Also a little bit of the class review.